Now, David Hogate. Now, everybody wants to understand and wants to know one thing, man. Now, you got some guy named Vlad TV that wants to introduce people to the rap scene, the jazz scene, things like that. Now, the new generation these days wants to know, since 1960s and the 70s that you talk about, what does the sampling got to do with the days that go on with the music these days?
Well, there's been a lot of cross pollination with these rap guys looping older tunes. I believe some of them, if I'm not mistaken, have even done what was known as the outside jazz of Anthony Braxton, Cecil Taylor, and Ornette Coleman. That
Okay.
noisy shit from the early '70s. Cannonball Adderley and Coltrane did it. But I'm hearing hip hop people starting to blend and merge that, and of course fusion, Weather Report. I'm hearing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So it is relevant, and it's kind of an urbanized inner city thing
That part.
without giving eluding to race, because we have a lot of can I say race?
Of course you
A
can.
lot of white people playing blues, and
Yes.
we got like a lot of black people playing Eagles and crap
Correct.
like
Correct.
that. So go figure. Everything comes full circle, like the pictures that you find in the windmills of your mind.
Yes, sir. Now, you think that these days, from the late Rick James,
Rick James.
from the late,
Often looped.
yes, from the late Teddy Pendergrass and people like that, do you feel that the funk era really took over the rap scene of these days with the sampling?
It certainly started it. I don't know if it upended it, but it was Can't Touch This, right? That's right out of
MC Hammer, right?
but that was a loop stolen from Rick James.
Correct.
Right? So
Yes.
that's I would say funk really kind of kicked it off. It's kind of
Yes,
it got you on the 10-yard line.
yes. Also with rock and roll, Little Richard said that he said he created rock and roll. Is that true, brother?
He was there before it was important, and of course, with the Beatles took everything in '64 when it wasn't their first appearance, their second appearance on the Ed Sullivan show. They became the most four famous people in the world, and Fats Domino, Little Richard, Chuck Berry, and the people of those ilk, the Chess Records,
Hmm.
Muddy Waters, the black artists
Yes.
that the Beatles were obviously stealing
Right.
out of.
Right.
Paul McCartney, and I saw her standing there stealing right from Chuck Berry.
Right.
It was blatant. There were blatant ripoffs, but they invented rock and roll. These guys of those sort. One thing I will say about Little Richard, that he may not have realized what he was doing when he did it, but he sort of chastised Mr. Jimi Hendrix. He
Mm.
said, "You ain't going nowhere with all that joy and noise and playing guitar with your teeth and
Correct.
pulling your guitar around your back and between your legs, acting like a fool."
Right.
But that was his. I remember. I think it was Graham Nash said he saw that. He was right there when it happened. He was just a little lad too. In England, he was lecturing Jimi Hendrix before Hendrix was Jimi Hendrix.
Okay.
So
Well,
he worked a lot in New York, and he did run into Little Richard, but he didn't want anybody stealing his act, so off with his head.
okay. Well, check this out. On the next episode, we shall find out where your new album's getting ready to come out. Everybody's concerned, but only have 4, 3, 2, 1 seconds.